What is going on, everybody? Joe is back with an all-new album rankings episode. This week, I'm going to be ranking all of Pantera's studio discography from worst to best. Pantera is an American heavy metal band formed in Arlington, Texas in 1981 by the brothers Abbott, Dimebag Darrell, and Vinnie Paul. May they both rest in peace. In recent years, Pantera has reformed and has toured from one place to another with singer Phil Anselmo, bassist Rex Brown, Black Label Society's founder and axeman Zakk Wylde, and Anthrax's drummer Charlie Benante. The band is credited for developing and popularizing the subgenre of groove metal back in the 1990s, and regarded as one of the most influential heavy metal acts in the genre's history. As always, when you're finished watching this episode, you can go back and watch previous album rankings episodes, as the playlist is in the description box. You know, if the worst Pantera album happens to be Pantera's debut, 1983's Metal Magic takes the cake. This was like the next couple of albums was musically oriented towards a glam sound influenced by the likes of Kiss and Van Halen. The album was co-produced by the band along with Dime and Vinnie's father, Jerry Abbott. If there is one saving grace on Metal Magic, it's Darrell's guitar playing. Two songs that stood out were Widowmaker and I'll Be Alright. Next. In 8th place, it's Projects in the Jungle from 1984. A major improvement from Metal Magic. Pantera made their first music video called All Over Tonight. This record shared many similarities with Def Leppard's pre-Hysteria sound, even though Pyromania was released a year earlier. The album also contains influences from Van Halen and Judas Priest. Dimebag's guitar solos, I Swear, features many speed metal-oriented guitar riffs. No lie. I Am the Night from 1985, the last to feature Terry Glaze on lead vocals. The record sold 25,000 copies, which at the time was considered high for an independent album. The only standout track was the music video, Hot and Heavy. Anything else you could just skip. Next. It's transitional time for Pantera on 1988's Power Metal, which is in 6th place. They saw the debut of their new frontman, Phil Anselmo. This change in frontman became known as Pantera's best known lineup, which would also last until their disbandment in 2003. Power Metal signaled a shift in a heavier direction and has been described as a bridge between the group's original glam metal style and the heavier groove metal sound on later albums that would become their subsequent work, containing influences of speed and thrash metal while retaining elements from previous albums. Anselmo's vocals often had been compared to that of Judas Priest frontman Rob Halford. Proud to Be Loud, Power Metal, and Rock the World were all standout tracks. In 5th place happens to be their final record, Reinventing the Steel from 2000. It would also be the final album for the Abbott brothers, as Dimebag would die in 2004, tragically killed at the age of 38 after a nightclub shooting that took place in Columbus, Ohio, where Dime and Vinnie had started their own band called Damage Plan after the end of Pantera. Vinnie Paul would die in 2018 at the age of 54. Since this release, Reinventing the Steel had reached number 4 on the Billboard 200 and had gone gold. Hellbound, Yesterday Don't Mean Shit, Goddamn Electric, and Revolution Is My Name all stood out in this release. Next. Taking the 4th spot happens to be The Great Southern Trendkill from 1996. This one also reached number 4 on the Billboard 200 and would go platinum. Floods being the longest song on the record, probably the second longest ever in the Pantera song catalog, behind Cemetery Gates, is a standout track along with Drag the Waters, War Nerve, and Suicide Notes Parts 1 and 2. This record took a few steps back from the successful previous record, Far Beyond Driven. More on that in a moment. In 3rd place happens to be Cowboys from Hell from 1990. Highly regarded as the first groove metal album ever made, Cowboys from Hell is Pantera's major label debut. Overall, it's their 5th studio album. The record reached 117 on the Billboard 200. In 1992, it reached Billboard's Heat Seekers albums charts at number 27. And as of this recording, it is certified double platinum. The standout tracks include Cowboys from Hell, Psycho Holiday, Domination, and the epic Cemetery Gates. The runner-up spot goes to Vulgar Display of Power from 1992. It features the standout tracks Mouth for War, A New Level, Walk, Fucking Hostile, and This Love. The album is well received by critics and fans and is the band's highest selling record to date, reaching number 44 on the Billboard 200 and went double platinum. Pantera was the band that filled in the void to carry the heavy metal flag when they accused Metallica of abandoning their thrash metal sound and went more commercial with their Black Album, which was released in 1991. Vulgar Display of Power remains Pantera's heaviest album of all time, at least in their opinion. I don't know about you. And the best Pantera album, in my opinion, goes to Far Beyond Driven from 1994. This album was Pantera's fastest selling album, reaching number 1 on the Billboard 200 and went platinum. The album also reached number 1 in Australia. I hold this album in high regard because of the tracks like Becoming, I'm Broken, 5 Minutes Alone, and their cool cover of Black Sabbath's Planet Caravan. There were also underrated but very good tracks like Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills, Strength Beyond Strength, and 25 Years. Arguably the best Pantera album ever made, bar none. So, here is my quick recap of the Pantera albums ranked from worst to best. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will differ. I stated that their first 4 albums were at the bottom of the heap, all because they were struggling to find their way, despite the glam influences from earlier albums. Thankfully, they changed their sound and musical style and became extremely popular in the 90s with such albums like Cowboys from Hell, Vulgar Display of Power, and Far Beyond Driven. That's all for this week, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.
No.